The rain hammered Lagos like bullets that December evening when Angela Nenna saw the boy standing in the middle of the road with two small children pressed against his chest. Her Mercedes G-Wagon sat trapped in Third Mainland Bridge traffic, brake lights stretching endlessly ahead like red eyes in the darkness. The boy couldn't have been more than 15, his torn shirt plastered to his skinny frame as he stood between lanes, not begging, just standing there like he was waiting to die. "Madam, make I reverse, find another route," her driver Edward said, watching her stare at the boy through the rain-streaked window. Angela didn't answer. Something about the way the boy held those children made her chest tight. One child in each arm, both girls, maybe 3 years old, their heads buried in his neck while the rain poured down on all three of them. Cars honked, water splashed. But the boy just stood there, swaying slightly, his lips moving like he was singing to them. Then lightning flashed, and Angela saw it. The little girl on his left turned her face toward the light, and her eyes were two different colors. One brown, one green. Just like Angela's grandmother who died when Angela was 7. Just like Angela's brother David who disappeared 10 years ago. "Stop the car," Angela said. "Madam, we day traffic." "I said stop the car." Edward pulled onto the emergency shoulder. Angela grabbed her umbrella and stepped into the rain, her $5,000 heels sinking into muddy water. The boy saw her coming and started backing away, pulling the children tighter. "Wait," Angela called out. "I won't hurt you." The boy kept moving backward, but he was weak. Angela could see it in how his legs shook, how he struggled to hold both girls. A truck roared past, spraying water everywhere, and the boy stumbled. One of the girls started crying. "Please," Angela said, moving closer, "let me help you." "We don't need help," the boy said. His voice cracked. "Leave us alone." "You're going to collapse," Angela said. "Those children are sick." "I can see it from here." "They're not sick. They're just cold." Another lightning flash. The second girl lifted her head, and Angela's heart stopped. She had it too. The same eyes. One brown, one green. The Nenna family mark that showed up once every generation. "What's your name?" Angela asked. The boy didn't answer. "Those girls," Angela said slowly. "Where did you get them?" "They're my sisters." "Your sisters?" "Yes." Angela stepped closer. The boy tried to run, but his legs gave out. He fell to his knees in the muddy water, still holding the girls up, keeping them above the flood. "Edward," Angela shouted, "come help me." Edward ran over with another umbrella. Together they surrounded the boy. "Get away from us," the boy screamed. "Look at me," Angela said, kneeling in the mud beside him. Her designer dress soaked through immediately. "Look at my eyes." The boy looked. Angela's eyes were normal, both brown, but she pulled out her phone, showing him an old photo from her wallet app. It was her brother David, smiling, his mismatched eyes clear in the image. "You knew him," Angela said. It wasn't a question. The boy's face crumbled. "Uncle David said if anything happened, find the woman in the tower. He said she would know what to do." Angela's throat closed. The tower. That's what David used to call her tech company building, the tallest in Victoria Island. "What's your name?" Angela asked again, gentler this time. "Ikenna." "And the girls?" "Aduni and Iomide. They're twins." "Ikenna, where is David?" The boy started crying, real tears mixing with rain. "He died. 4 months ago, he told me to take care of them. He said find you, but I didn't know how. I didn't know where." Angela felt the world spin. David was dead. Her stubborn, principled brother who walked away from the family fortune because he said it was dirty money. David who she hadn't spoken to in 10 years because he chose poverty over wealth. "Get in the car," Angela said. "No." "Ikenna, those girls are burning with fever. Get in the car now." The boy looked at the twins, then at Angela, then at the warm, dry car. "You're her," he whispered. "The sister he talked about." Angela nodded, rain streaming down her face. Inside the Mercedes, the twins' breathing sounded wrong. Angela pressed her hand against Aduni's forehead while Edward drove toward the nearest hospital. The child was burning up, her mismatched eyes rolling back in her head. "How long have they been sick?" Angela asked Ikenna. 3 days, maybe 4. The boy sat rigid in the corner, watching Angela like she might steal the girls. I tried to buy medicine, but they chased me from the pharmacy. Said I was a thief. Which pharmacy? Does it matter? We look like nobody. They treat us like nobody. Angela pulled out her phone and called her personal doctor. Dr. Blessing, I need you at Lagos Island Hospital in 20 minutes. Pediatric emergency. Madam Angela, it's past 9. 20 minutes. Blessing. She ended the call and looked at Ikenna. The boy was shivering, his jaw clenched tight to stop his teeth from chattering. Angela reached for the car's temperature control. Don't, Ikenna said. The heat makes them worse. Uncle David said fever means keep them cool. David knew about medicine. He knew about everything. He was a teacher. A teacher, Angela repeated. Of course David became a teacher. While she built a tech empire worth billions, her brother chose chalk dust and small salaries. Where? Government school in Mushin, Primary 5. He taught mathematics and science. The car pulled into the hospital's emergency entrance. Angela stepped out first, but when she reached for Aomid, Ikenna pulled back. I carry them, he said. You can barely stand. I carry them. Angela saw the fear in his eyes. This boy had protected these girls for 4 months on the streets. He wasn't going to let go now. Together then, she said. You take Aduni. I'll take Aomide. Ikenna studied her face, then slowly handed over Aomide. The child weighed nothing. Angela could feel every rib through her wet dress. Inside the hospital, nurses tried to take the children to different rooms. No, Ikenna shouted. They stay together. They have to stay together. Young man, we need to examine. They stay together, or we leave. Angela stepped forward. 1 room. Both children. Whatever it costs. The head nurse looked at Angela's designer clothes, recognized money, and nodded. Room 7. Dr. Blessing arrived as they were hooking up IV drips. She took one look at the twins and started working without questions. Blood samples, temperature readings, oxygen masks. Severe malnutrition, she said quietly to Angela. Pneumonia in both lungs. These children are critical. Save them. I'll try, but no but. Save them. Ikenna stood guard between both beds, his hand on each girl's foot. He was still shivering, but he wouldn't move. You need treatment too, Dr. Blessing said to him. I'm fine. You're not fine. You have fever. I said I'm fine. Angela walked over and put her hand on his shoulder. He flinched. David would want you healthy, she said softly. To take care of them. The boy's shoulders started shaking. Then he was sobbing, huge gulping sobs that seemed to come from somewhere deep. He made me promise, Ikenna choked out. When he was dying, he made me promise to keep them safe. But I failed. Look at them. I failed. You didn't fail. You kept them alive for 4 months on the street. You're 15 years old and you kept them alive. He said find the tower. He said his sister would help. But I couldn't find it. I walked everywhere looking for tall buildings. I asked people about the tower lady. They laughed at me, called me mad. Angela felt tears in her own eyes. How did David die? Hit and run. Outside the school. He was crossing the road to buy their medicine. Same sickness. They got better, but he died. The police said no witnesses. Case closed. Where is he buried? Public cemetery. No stone. Just a number. Plot 4,827 inches. Angela closed her eyes. Her brother, her brilliant brother, who scored higher than her in every exam, who could have run any company, who chose principle over profit. Dead in an unmarked grave while she sat in board meetings acquiring more wealth she didn't need. Her phone buzzed. 18 missed calls from her assistant. Ma! Edward appeared in the doorway. Your uncle is here, Chief James. With many people. Angela's blood turned cold. Here? How does he know? Angela! Chief James's voice boomed from the corridor. Where are these children you've picked up? Where are the inheritors of David's fortune? Ikenna's eyes went wide with terror. Chief James entered the hospital room like he owned it, his white agbada sweeping the floor, gold chains catching the fluorescent lights. Behind him came 4 men in suits, and an elderly woman Angela recognized as Mama Sidi, the family matriarch who decided every dispute in the Nena clan. So it's true, Chief James said, staring at the twins in their hospital beds. David's children. Get out, Angela said. I am your uncle. Your father's eldest brother. Show respect. You lost my respect when you tried to steal my company after father died. Get out. Chief James smiled, gold tooth gleaming. These children are Nena blood. The family must decide their fate. There's nothing to decide. They're staying with me. You? Mama Sidi spoke for the first time, her voice like dried leaves. An unmarried woman with no children of her own? That is not our way. Ikenna pressed himself against the wall, trying to become invisible. One of the men in suits noticed him. Who is this one? Nobody, Chief James said, barely glancing at Ikenna. Street trash David picked up. We'll send him back where he belongs. No! Ikenna stepped forward. Uncle David adopted me. He said I'm family. Chief James laughed. Adopted? With what court? What papers? David was always filling his head with dreams. Boy, you are nothing. These girls, however, they are everything. Angela watched her uncle's face carefully. What do you mean everything? Don't play stupid, Angela. David walked away from his inheritance, but he never signed the renunciation papers. I checked. That means these girls are entitled to his share of the Nena fortune, 40 billion naira. The room went silent except for the beeping of medical machines. Angela started laughing, not happy laughter, but the bitter kind that comes when you finally understand something terrible. That's what this is about. Money. Everything is about money, Chief James said. Which is why I've already filed for emergency custody. As the eldest male relative, tradition says, I am their guardian. Tradition? Angela stepped closer to him. Where was tradition when David was living in one room with these children? Where was tradition when he was teaching in a school with no roof? Where were you when he was dying in the street? David chose his path. And now you want to profit from his death. Mama Sidi raised her hand. Enough. The children go with James. It is decided. Nothing is decided, Angela said. This is a hospital, not your village council. And in case you forgot, I'm a lawyer. Corporate law, yes, but still a lawyer. You want these children? Take me to court. Chief James's smile widened. Gladly. And when the judge hears that you're an emotionally unstable woman who works 20 hours a day, who has no experience with children, who picked them off the street like stray dogs, what do you think will happen? We'll see. Yes, we will. But first, I'm taking them tonight. They're on life support. Then I'll take the machines too. He snapped his fingers. Two of his men moved toward the beds. Ikenna grabbed a metal tray and held it like a weapon. Don't touch them! One man laughed and reached for a Duni's IV line. What happened next surprised everyone. Angela grabbed the man's wrist and twisted it behind his back, slamming him face first into the wall. 4 years of self-defense training finally proved useful. Security! Dr. Blessing shouted from the doorway. Security now! Hospital guards rushed in. Chief James stepped back, adjusting his agbada. This isn't over, Angela. I have a court order coming. Tonight, tomorrow, this week, these children will be mine. Uncle, Angela said quietly, let me tell you something about David you don't know. He kept journals, detailed journals about every conversation, every family meeting, every dirty deal you and father ever made. He gave them to me before he left. If you push this, I'll publish them. Every land grab, every bribe, every political connection, everything. Chief James's face darkened. You're lying. Page 47, May 15th, 10 years ago. You met Senator Adamu at Echo Hotel. You gave him 15 million to change the highway route through Grandma's village so you could sell the land. Should I continue? The room was completely silent now. You wouldn't dare, Chief James whispered. Try me. Mama Sidi touched Chief James's arm. We leave now. But now. They filed out slowly. At the door, Chief James turned back. This isn't about money, Angela. It's about blood. Those girls carry the Nena gift, the eyes that see both worlds. They belong with someone who understands what that means. After they left, Angela found Ikenna crying silently beside Ayomide's bed. They'll take them, he whispered. Just like everyone takes everything. Angela knelt beside him. No one is taking anyone. You don't know how the world works. Money always wins. Sometimes, Angela said, but not this time. Her phone buzzed. A message from her assistant. Chief James just filed an emergency custody petition. Hearing tomorrow, 9 a.m. The courtroom smelled like old paper and lies. Angela sat at the defendant's table, her lawyer Dominic Arinza shuffling documents beside her. Across the aisle, Chief James lounged in his chair like he'd already won. The twins were still in the hospital, too sick to move. But Ikenna sat behind Angela wearing a borrowed suit that hung loose on his thin frame. Judge Caroline O'Keefe entered. Angela recognized her from law school, 2 years ahead, brilliant but traditional. This could go either way. This is an emergency custody hearing regarding the minor children, Aduni and Ayomide, Judge O'Keefe began. Birth surname unknown, currently in the care of Angela Nenna. Chief James Amadi seeks immediate custody as the eldest male relative. Chief James's lawyer stood. Your Honor, tradition is clear. When parents die, children go to the father's eldest brother. Miss Nenna is unmarried, childless, and has no experience raising children. She found these girls on the street mere days ago. Chief James has raised 8 children. He has a compound in the village, multiple wives to care for the twins, and the financial means to provide. Financial means he didn't use when they were starving, Angela muttered. Miss Nenna, you'll have your turn, Judge O'Keefe warned. The lawyer continued. Furthermore, Miss Nenna works 18-hour days. She travels constantly. She has admitted in interviews that her company is her only child. These girls need a mother, not a CEO. Your response, Mr. Arinza, the judge asked. Dominic stood. Your Honor, we have evidence that David Nenna specifically instructed the children's caregiver to find Angela if anything happened to him. This shows clear parental intention. Hearsay, Chief James's lawyer interrupted. Where is this caregiver? Some street boy with no papers, no identity? My lord, he could say anything. Judge O'Keefe looked at Ikenna. Young man, come forward. Ikenna walked to the witness stand, his hands shaking. State your name. Ikenna. Ikenna what? Just Ikenna. I don't know my father's name. Whispers filled the courtroom. How old are you? 15, maybe 16. I don't know my birthday. And you claim David Nenna told you to find his sister? Yes, Ma. Tell me exactly what he said. Ikenna closed his eyes. He was dying. Blood everywhere. He held my hand and said, Find Angela, the tower woman. She seems cold, but her heart is good. Tell her I'm sorry. Tell her the girls have the gift. She'll understand. The gift? Judge O'Keefe asked. Their eyes, Ma. Different colors. He said it means something in their family. Chief James stood up. Your Honor, this is village superstition. Sit down, Chief. Angela's phone vibrated. A message from Dr. Blessing. Aduni's fever breaking. Both twins asking for Ikenna. Judge O'Keefe continued. Miss Nenna, why should I give you these children instead of their blood uncle? Angela stood. Your Honor, may I show you something? The judge nodded. Angela pulled out her phone and connected it to the court screen. A video appeared. It was David, thin and clearly sick, sitting in a small room. The twins were playing at his feet, laughing. The timestamp showed 3 months ago. David's voice filled the courtroom. If you're watching this, Angela, it means I'm gone. I know we haven't spoken in 10 years. I know you're angry. I chose poverty. You chose power. But I need you to know something. These girls, they're special. Not because of the eyes, but because they're innocent. The family will come for them. Uncle James, the others. They'll want them for the money. But I'm begging you, sister. You were the only one who ever protected me from the family's greed. Protect them now. And Ikenna, he's not my blood, but he's my son in every way that matters. Don't let them separate them. Please. The courtroom was silent. Chief James stood up. This video proves nothing. It could be fake. It's real, Angela said quietly. And I have 70 more. David documented everything, including the fact that you've been stealing from the family trust for 15 years. You have no proof. Angela handed Dominic a folder. He passed it to the judge. Bank statements, Your Honor, showing monthly transfers from the Nenna family trust to Chief James's personal accounts. David tracked every transaction. Judge O'Keefe studied the papers. Her face hardened. Chief James, is this true? Those are family matters. Not relevant to this case. Theft is always relevant, the judge said coldly. She looked at Angela. then at Ikenna, then back at the papers. Finally she spoke. Blood alone doesn't make family. Love does, care does, sacrifice does. These children stay with Angela Nenna pending final adoption proceedings. The gavel came down like thunder. 3 weeks later, Angela stood in her Victoria Island mansion, watching something she never imagined. Ikenna was on the floor teaching Aduni and Iomide to stack blocks while soft music played from her sound system. The twins' cheeks had filled out. Their strange, beautiful eyes sparkled with life. They wore matching yellow dresses that Angela had spent an hour picking out, her first time in a children's store. "Higher!" Iomide shouted, clapping as Ikenna added another block. "Careful," Angela said automatically. Ikenna looked up at her and smiled. "Uncle David always said broken things can be rebuilt." Angela's phone rang. Her assistant's voice was urgent. "Ma, the board meeting started 5 minutes ago. Tell them to wait." "But Ma, I said wait." She ended the call and sat on the floor with them. Aduni immediately crawled into her lap, tiny fingers playing with Angela's expensive necklace. "Pretty," Aduni said. "You're prettier," Angela replied, surprised by how easily the words came. Her phone rang again. This time she turned it off completely. "You'll lose money," Ikenna said quietly. "Maybe. Uncle David always said you loved money more than anything." Angela thought about that. 3 weeks ago it was true. Her company was her identity. Her billions were her shield. But now, watching these children play, feeling Aduni's weight in her lap, something had shifted. "David was wrong about me," she said. "Just like I was wrong about him." A knock at the door interrupted them. Dr. Blessing entered with a folder. "The final adoption papers," she said. "Once you sign, it's permanent. All 3 children legally yours." Angela looked at the documents. 3 names would change today. Ikenna Nenna, Aduni Nenna, Iomide Nenna. "What if I'm bad at this?" Angela asked suddenly. Dr. Blessing sat beside her. "You've kept them alive, healthy and happy for 3 weeks. You fought your entire family for them. You turned off your phone during a board meeting. I think you're already good at this." Angela signed the papers. Each signature felt like shedding old skin. "It's done," she said. Ikenna's eyes filled with tears. "We're really family now." "We were family the moment you stood in that rain protecting them," Angela said. "The papers just make it official." That evening, Angela did something she hadn't done in years. She cooked dinner. It was terrible. The rice was mushy, the chicken was dry, and the vegetables were basically cremated. But they ate together at the dining table, the twins in high chairs, Ikenna helping feed them, everyone laughing when Iomide threw a spoonful of rice at the wall. "Tomorrow I'll hire a cook," Angela said. "Or I could teach you," Ikenna offered. "Uncle David taught me. He said cooking is just chemistry you can eat." After dinner, Angela found herself in David's old room, now Ikenna's. The boy had put up one photo on the wall, David with the twins on their first birthday. Their eyes hadn't changed color yet in the picture. They were both brown. "When did it happen?" Angela asked. "The eyes?" 6 months ago. Uncle David cried when he saw it. He said it meant they would see the world differently, see truth where others see lies. Our grandmother said the same thing. "Do you wish you had them? The special eyes?" Angela thought about it. "No, I spent my whole life seeing only what I wanted to see. Maybe that's worse than any curse." Later, after the twins were asleep, Angela found Ikenna on the balcony staring at the city lights. "What was he like?" she asked. "At the end?" "Happy," Ikenna said simply. "Poor, but happy. He said he had everything that mattered." "I have 40 billion naira," Angela said. "And until 3 weeks ago, I had nothing that mattered. You have us now." "Yes, I do." They stood in comfortable silence. Then Ikenna asked, "What happens next?" "You start school next week, best one in Lagos. The twins will have tutors until they're old enough for preschool. And I'm restructuring my company so I can work from home more." "That's not what I mean." "What happens with Chief James?" Angela smiled. "Nothing. The investigation into his theft has started. He'll be too busy staying out of prison to bother us." "And the family fortune? The 40 billion the twins inherited?" "It goes into a trust for their education. And yours. The rest will build schools in places like where David taught. He would like that." I hope so. Ikenna hugged her suddenly, fiercely. Thank you for stopping that day. Angela hugged him back, feeling years of ice crack and melt away. Through the window, she could see the twins' room, their nightlight casting soft shadows. Thank you for standing in the rain, she whispered. This was her family now. Not the one she planned, but the one she needed. And for the first time in 10 years, Angela Nenna was home. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this channel.